My wife promised we'd keep our anniversary private. Instead, she invited her parents over and told them, "He hasn't bought me a gift in years." They all laughed while I sat there holding the surprise necklace I saved for months to buy. I quietly slipped it back into my pocket. That night, she found it hidden in my jacket and screamed, "You were going to make me look like the villain." I slept in the garage. 2 days later, she pawned it. I'm a 39-year-old HVAC tech living in Fort Worth, Texas. Been married to my wife, Angie, for 6 years. No kids. We have a modest house we bought 3 years ago. Nothing fancy. But it was home. Things weren't always tense. Back when we first got together, she was grounded. She used to be happy with small things, dollar movie nights, burgers at that old greasy diner near downtown. We used to dream about building a life, not showing one off. But in the last 2 years, something changed. Her sister married a surgeon. They go to Aruba, Jackson Hole, Napa Valley. Her friends on Instagram are always posting spa weekends, new cars, giant diamond anniversary gifts. I saw it get to her. Suddenly, what we had wasn't enough. She started dropping comments. "It must be nice to be married to someone who surprises you." Or, "Did you know Janet's husband redid their kitchen for their 5th anniversary?" Stuff like that. At first, I shrugged it off. But it stuck. Now here's the thing, I don't make surgeon money. But I work hard. HVAC pays the bills. I pick up side jobs too, especially in the summer. I save when I can. About 7 months before our anniversary, I decided I was going to do something for her. A real gift. Not flowers from Kroger or takeout from Olive Garden. Something with meaning. She's always loved sapphires, September birthstone, hers. I found a necklace online. Simple chain, small sapphire pendant, real gold. $730. That's not small change for me. I did weekend jobs. Picked up a busted water heater repair from a friend. Sold an old guitar that meant a lot to me. Bit by bit, I made it work. Paid it off in cash. I kept the necklace hidden in my truck toolbox. Planned to give it to her on our anniversary, just us, no big show. She even said, "Let's not do anything big this year. I don't want my parents around, no posts, no pressure. Just us." I mean it. I believed her. Our anniversary came. I left work early. Got cleaned up. Stopped for her favorite wine. Had the necklace in my coat pocket. When I pulled into the driveway, I saw extra cars. My stomach dropped. I walked in. Her parents were already sitting in our kitchen. Her mom had a wine glass in hand, her dad was talking loud like he always does. She greeted me like nothing was wrong. Kissed my cheek, said, "Surprise." I figured a little family dinner wouldn't hurt. I didn't even argue. I just looked at her. She smiled like she hadn't just broken her word. So I sat down and played along. Her mom asked if I had survived another year. Her dad made a joke about how it takes a patient man to be married to Angie. I stayed polite. Then it happened. We were mid-dinner when her mom asked, "So what did you get her this year?" Smiling like she expected some story. Angie laughed. Looked right at her dad and said, "He hasn't gotten me a gift in years." Everyone laughed. Like it was a joke. Her mom slapped the table. My chest went tight. I could feel the necklace pressing against my thigh in my pocket. I hadn't even had a chance to give it yet. I sat there, staring down at my plate. I wanted to get up. I wanted to say something. But I didn't. Instead, I slowly slid the necklace box deeper into my coat pocket under the table. Said nothing. Just kept eating like I was fine. After dinner, they stayed for cake. She didn't even look at me. I did the dishes while they drank more wine. Eventually, they left. She acted like everything was normal. I said I was tired. Told her I was gonna sleep on the couch. She rolled her eyes and went upstairs. That night, maybe around midnight, I heard rustling. I was half asleep, then fully awake when I heard the sharp sound of the necklace box opening. She found it. She came into the living room holding it. "You were going to make me look like a bitch," she screamed. I sat up. Still groggy. "What are you talking about?" This stupid necklace. You had it the whole time and just sat there letting me say that. Letting them laugh. I didn't say anything. She was shaking. Red in the face. She threw the box onto the floor. "You're sick," she hissed. Then she stormed upstairs. I picked it up. It was fine. I put it back in my jacket. Went out to the garage. Slept next to my tool bench with a blanket I kept for emergencies. 2 days later, it was gone. She pawned it. Didn't even tell me. I came home, checked my coat. Empty. I asked her. She didn't flinch. "I sold it," she said, without looking up from her phone. "That was your anniversary gift," I said. "I worked for months, yeah. Well, next time, don't hide it like some trap." I walked out of the room before I did something I'd regret. That was the moment I knew things had to change. But not with yelling. Not with begging. She needed to learn. Now, I'm not a vengeful man by nature. But I can be patient. And I know how to plan. The next few weeks were cold, and I don't mean the weather. We barely spoke. She'd say things like, "Pass the salt," or, "I need the car Friday," but that was it. She acted like nothing happened. Like pawning a gift I bled for was no big deal. She started going out more. "Girls' nights," she said. Sometimes she'd come home late. Once, not at all. I asked her where she was. She said, "Don't start." I didn't push. I was done begging for respect. Instead, I started documenting. Quietly. I took photos of the empty necklace box. Took screenshots of texts where she admitted pawning it. I even got the pawn shop receipt. She didn't know I went in there the day after it disappeared. The guy still had it. Said a woman named Angie dropped it off. I asked for a copy of the transaction. Told him I was her husband. He laughed and said, "Rough week, huh?" He had no idea. I also checked our joint bank account. She'd been pulling out cash here and there. Small amounts. Always under $100. Easy to miss if you weren't looking. But it added up. Nearly $2,000 gone over 3 months. That's when I started to think, maybe this wasn't just about the necklace. So I went deeper. Checked her iPad. She never changed the password. Found a set of messages between her and some guy saved under Holly. But the texts weren't from Holly. They were from a guy named Derek. He worked at the same dental office she'd started temping at part-time. He called her babe. She sent him selfies. He asked if she ditched the loser yet. That loser was me. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I started copying everything. Took photos of every message. Every flirty pic. Every late night, "I wish you were here." I needed a plan. We shared everything: mortgage, car, bank accounts. Texas is a community property state. If I blew up now, I'd lose half, maybe more. She'd play the victim. Probably tell everyone I was controlling or emotionally distant. That's her game. Get ahead of the story. So I played dumb. I made breakfast once. Acted calm. She asked if I was feeling okay. I said I was just tired of fighting. She smiled. Thought she won. I started moving my money into a separate account. Slowly. Cancelled a few subscriptions under our joint names. Transferred the truck title to my brother for repairs. Just on paper. I was building my exit. But before I left, I wanted her to feel what I felt. She had this charity event coming up for the dental office. Big gala thing. She was excited, bought a dress, booked a salon appointment. Told me not to embarrass her if I came. I smiled and said I'd make sure I looked sharp. She had no idea I already planned how that night would end. The night of the charity gala came fast. I had my suit pressed, shoes polished. She wore this deep green dress, tight, expensive, the kind that says, "I'm not here to blend in." She looked good. I won't lie. But I couldn't see her the same anymore. Everything about her felt fake now, like a pretty coat hiding mold underneath. She was in a great mood, which made it worse. She took selfies in the mirror. Laughed. Even grabbed my arm like we were a real couple again. I played along. Smiled for the camera. Even kissed her cheek when she held out her phone. We drove in silence most of the way. She was busy texting. I knew who it was. The gala was held at a hotel ballroom downtown. Fancy people. Wine glasses that cost more than my boots. Her office had a table near the stage. As soon as we sat down, she locked eyes with someone across the room. A guy in a navy suit with slick back hair. Derek. She didn't introduce me. He walked over, gave her a polite hug. Looked at me like I was just a placeholder. I said nothing. Just nodded. We made it through dinner. There was a raffle. A silent auction. People made speeches about dental access in rural counties. Angie pretended to care. But most of the night, she whispered with Derek. Touched his arm once when they laughed. And I let her. Because my phone was already set up to record. I had it angled just right in the empty chair next to me. Picked up every word. Every glance. Every time she called him handsome or said she needed a real man. Then came the dessert hour. Everyone got up to grab drinks. I stayed behind. Took my phone, stepped outside to the parking lot, and sent every recording, every screenshot, every text, to her mom. Then to her sister. Then to her work email. Last, I sent it all to Derek's wife. Yeah, he was married too. Found that out on Facebook the week before. I walked back in like nothing happened. We left an hour later. She was tipsy, smiling. Still had no clue. But the fallout came fast. Next morning, she was still asleep when her phone blew up. Her mom. Her sister. Her boss. Her phone lit up like a fire. I stood in the doorway with my coffee, watched her panic. Watched her scroll through message after message. "What the hell did you do?" she screamed. I shrugged. "I just shared what you were proud of." She slapped me. First time that ever happened. I didn't flinch. She started crying. Begging. "You don't understand, it didn't mean anything." But it meant enough to lie. She called Derek. No answer. She tried again. Straight to voicemail. Then she got quiet. Real quiet. And for the first time in months, I saw fear in her eyes. She knew I wasn't bluffing anymore. But the revenge wasn't over. Not even close. She stayed in bed for hours that day, curled up, phone clutched in her hand like it could save her. She didn't go to work. Didn't speak unless I asked something simple, like if she still wanted coffee. She said nothing. By the next morning, she was gone. Packed a bag while I was out getting groceries. Left a note on the kitchen table that said, "I need space. You went too far. Too far." She cheated. Lied. Mocked me in front of her family. Pawned something I poured my heart into. And somehow, I went too far. I laughed when I read it. Not a bitter laugh. A tired one. But I wasn't done yet. Over the next week, I moved fast. I filed for divorce. Used the screenshots and recordings to support my case. Texas doesn't reward cheaters, especially not when there's proof. I met with a lawyer, handed over everything. The texts, the receipts, the photos. Her tone shifted when I mentioned the pawn shop. "You have the receipt?" she asked. I nodded. She sold a $700 gift 2 days after mocking me for not getting her anything. "Perfect," she said. "Let's use that." I had already drained most of our joint account. Legally. Nothing shady. Just moved my half to a separate account and froze any shared credit cards before she could max them out. I wasn't just reacting anymore. I was prepared. Her job found out about the affair. Someone printed out the screenshots I sent and left them on her boss's desk. Her temp contract wasn't renewed. Last I heard, she blamed me for ruining her career. I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped covering for her. A month later, we had our first mediation session. She showed up in sweatpants, looking rough. She tried to act angry. Said I'd hacked her phone, set her up. My lawyer laid out the timeline. The photos. The texts where she called me the dumb husband who'll believe anything. The mediator looked at her, then at me, and said, "I've seen enough." She lost her claim to the house. I got to keep it. She tried to fight for the truck, but since it was in my brother's name by then, she had no legal claim. She walked away with almost nothing. But it wasn't about the house. Or the truck. Or even the necklace. It was about respect. And she had buried it long ago. I replaced the sapphire necklace. Not for her. For me. I hung it in the garage, right above my workbench, in the same spot I slept that night after she screamed at me. A reminder. That I'm worth more than the way she treated me. The neighbors asked what happened. I kept it simple. She lied one too many times. No drama. No shouting match. Just the truth. The way I always handled things. A year's gone by. The house is mine. It's quiet, but peaceful. I fix things on weekends. Go fishing more. I see my brother often. And every now and then, I get a message from an unknown number. Sometimes it's her. "Can we talk?" Or, "I miss us." I don't respond. Some people only learn after they've burned everything down. I didn't light the match. But I sure as hell watched the fire. And I walked away warm.